Hey, top centers, how's it going? Well, it's about time we actually go back to it. Let's actually look at a meta deck. As you can tell from the title, which is something I've brought up like 3 times now, we're looking at Seismitoad X. And I'm going to quickly skim over both variants. There's not going to be a deck list. I don't like the idea of people net decking. There's very little variance in decks in this game. It's mostly the personal text that make the deck your own, so you don't really need me to say, well, here's Full Juniper / Sycamore, here's 4M, here's 2 Skyward. I will point out the cards that are different in the deck. So let's actually let's roll into it. You'll see what I mean when we get there. Firstly, there's the big bad himself, Seismitoad X. Now, of course, we all know he's an X, so he's basic. 180 hit points, retreat cost of 3, weak to grass. Now, the major reason why people play this guy is for, obviously, quick and punch. For a double colorless energy, you do 30 damage, your opponent can't play item cards next turn. It's basically Trainhawk. Pure and simple. Oh, you want to play trainers? No, you can't. Trainers are not a thing in your life. Simple enough. Now, that itself actually is basically the main premise for the deck, and it's actually the reason why its energy lineup is as odd as it is. Before I actually before I go further into detail on Quake and Punch and how it makes the deck, I want to quickly cover his second attack, Grenade Hammer. For 2 water and a colorless, do 130 damage. This attack does 30 damage to 2 of your benched Pokemon. So, gotta be colorless 2 you're on. Not the biggest problem with how this deck works. Now, as I said, there are 2 variants of this deck, and they both center around Quaking Punch. You basically lose your Seismitoad, here's double colorless energy, 30 damage, you can't use trainers. I get to use trainers in my turn, you don't. Best part of 230 deck doesn't do anything anymore. You've got a 2 in 3 chance of your next card being a dead draw. And that's if you're not playing evolutions with a basic on the bench. That's if you hit an energy, you can do something. You hit a Pokemon, you can put on your bench, you can put it on your bench. You hit a supporter, you can use that supporter and hope to actually get something usable. Now, firstly, 30 damage. It's not a lot. Now, what do we do about that? Okay, well, obvious answer, we've got Muscle Band. We've also got Hypnotoxic Laser. So here's poison, chance for you being asleep. It's a bit more of a lock. It's a bit more of a lock all around that way. It's like, oh, you can't play trainers and you're asleep. Well, if you don't wake up, you've not got Switch, so you're not getting it that way. You're still taking that poison damage, so effectively Quake and Punch with Hypnotoxic Laser, that's 50 damage. In 4 turns, that's an X Nocturne. And I'll be honest, yeah, it doesn't sound like a lot. I mean, this is a format where 1-shotting, 2-shotting, it's a pretty big thing. It's a case of, it tends to be a case of, here's my big axe, he's got the energy he needs, I'm going to 1-bomb you, or I'm going to put a lot of damage on you, set up for a future KO, and it's going to be 2 shots all the way. And then you just start a prize exchange. Seismitoad doesn't do that. Seismitoad turns around and says, potentially, I'm 4-shotting you if I'm lucky. If I'm not 4-shotting you, then I can still 6-shot you, unless you resist me. Then it's going to be an 18 shot. And I'll be honest, damage your opponent, not the biggest thing, but the trainer lock makes it work. Especially when, as I said, it's a one-way trainer lock. You lock your opponent's trainers, you can still use them in your turn. You've still got muscle bound, so even when him toss it later, you can still go, here's muscle bound, 4-shot, it's all good. Just keep on going, quick and punch, no trains for you, quick and punch, no trains for you. It's pretty nice stuff. That being said though, that doesn't make the deck. The deck's not bad. The fact it's train lock, that's good, it slows your opponent down. But what's to stop them attaching energy and eventually just coming in and saying, oh, is that a Seismitoad? Not anymore, get rid of it. I'll just keep on swinging. Your damage output isn't that high, so I can actually afford to basically tank. Jet Set Virizian's a pretty big deck right now, so how do you stop that? 2 words. Hammers and hammers. We have Enhanced Hammer, we have Crushing Hammer. Now, I've seen lists running 4 of these. Personally, Enhanced Hammer I don't see it being needed at a run of 4, just because it specialises in special energy. Does that make it bad? No, it's not bad. Getting rid of special energy is, oh, you're running double colourless to try and cover a cost. Enhanced Hammer, no double colourless volume. We've also got Crushing Hammer, gets rid of any energy, it's on the coin toss, it's all good. Well, say it's all good, it's on the coin toss, 50-50 chance. So you can still go Crushing Hammer, get rid of your basic attachment. Crushing Hammer, get rid of that basic attachment. Oh look, you're struggling to set up. Seismitoad paired with hammers. It's a good deck. It's a small slice of hell for your opponent. That being said though, you still have the whole fact that it's not just, you've got a limited number of hammers. You're running 4 Enhanced Hammers, so you can get rid of 4 special energy. You're running 4 Crushing Hammer, so at best you're getting rid of 4 basic attachments. Doesn't really seem to do that much for you. There are other options though. Mostly in the form of the supporter Xerosic. Choose a Pokemon tool or special energy attached to a Pokemon in play. Here's your opponents. Discard it. That in itself, I think, it's as a supporter, you normally read that and think, that's not that good. In this deck, it works. You could run 1, maybe 2 Xerosic, 3 if you really want to go ham on that, and you can basically turn around and say, is that special energy? Yes. It's another Enhanced Hammer, but it works. Why would I say run Xerosic? Because Seismitoad is a good deck. People are running it. It won't just be you. And basically, the Seismitoad mirror match is who starts quaking punching first. Because if you're going to quaking punch second, your opponent's already had a chance to actually set up a board, actually get stuff running. They've already got the Seismitoad, they've got the double colours, they've got the muscle bound. It is a case of you're playing Seismitoad. If you're playing the Seismitoad mirror match, you most likely want to go second, so you can get the first attack in. So you can just go Seismitoad, double colourless. You don't have trainers in your next turn. I have them in my turn. It also means that if your opponent does turn around and say double colourless, pass to you, you can just go Enhanced Hammer or Xerosic, get rid of it. Do you have another double colours? No? Well, you've just lost one of your 4, and let's be honest, it's also a case of you're not quaking punching this turn, are you? Mentioning Xerosic does actually bring me on to a slight problem with the deck though. Because alongside Xerosic you also have Team Flare Grunt, which is discard energy off your opponent's active Pokemon. Now, once again, plan itself in this deck, not bad. But use Zerosec, use Team Flare Grunt. It's effectively breaking even. You're going -1 on hand size. You're basically taking a card out of your hand to turn to your opponent and say, you have one less card in the field. So it's a 1-for-1. It doesn't replace itself, but you still make your opponent go -1, so you can still pull something off with that. That's where we start looking at the variants of this deck now. Now right now the deck has two major variants. There's Seismitoad Garbodor. This is working on the simple concept that you've got your opponent under a train lock. Let's lock their abilities too. So you can't play trainers, you don't have abilities to back you up. So, oh, I'm gonna go Hypnotoxic Laser. What's that, you got Virizion? Oh, it'd be a shame if I had a Garbodor on my bench with a tool attached. So you can't get rid of the poison just by attaching a Grass Energy to it. Now, one thing about the Garbodor variant is, yes, it does lock up abilities, but I don't think there are very many abilities in the game that actually do turn around and shut down Seismitoad. I think there's very little in the game that actually turns around and says, oh, well, I'm just going to completely stop you in your tracks. There used to be I think it was like a Slippery Slope, I think that's the name of the ability, it's like a Slippery Slope Vanillux, that actually like what point? Guess that can kind of do something, I guess, if the only other thing you have on your bench is a Garbodor, or you have another Seismitoad but not a DCE for it. Because that means next turn, if you can get your Seismitoad back in the tactic to start Quick and Punch again, your opponent then gets trainers and can just start doing stuff again. But that means running a stage 2 tech for the sake of one deck. It's also a stage 2 tech that you can't really get out quickly. I mean, sure, you could, you can run a 1-1-1 line. Good for you. You still have to get the, Vanillites, then the Vanillish, and then the Vanillux. You have to manually evolve them. As long as Red Candy, but are you going to really run 4 Red Candy for a Vanillux tank? Oh wait, you can't anyway. You try and play Red Candy, you can't because Quick and Punch means you can't play items. Red Candy is an item, so you have to do the manual evolving method, which is 2 turns. Wouldn't it be a shame if your opponent were to turn around and say, is that a Vanillite? Well, I'm going to Lysander it into the active position. Hypnotoxic Laser. Here's a Muscle Band from my Seismitoad. KO it. So, yeah. Getting Seismitoad out of the active position, not easy to do, and switching up abilities doesn't really seem to do much. You could try and Keldeo, I guess. You could try and rush in. Doesn't really get rid of the train lock because the effect's on you, not your active Pokemon. So, what do you do about it? The only ability I really see it switching off is Virizion, like I've already mentioned. Possibly Genesect if they want to go, here's a Plasma Engine to Genesect so I can bring out your Garbodor. Well, if you're running Garbodor, you're most likely running the Float Stone with it. So, yeah, it's going to have a retreat, it can hit the bench again. And just in case, I'd say you're going to run 1 or 2 switch as well. So if it's not wearing Float Stone, you're most likely got to switch, just by sheer probability. So, yeah, basically I do think that the Garbodor build, where it's not bad, I think it actually has less to offer than running the Slurpuff build. For anyone who's unaware, there is a Slurpuff from Phantom Forces with the ability Tasting. If Slurpuff is on your bench, you can use Tasting to draw a card. If your opponent brings Slurpuff into the active, or they bring up its, or if they bring up its basic and then you evolve into Slurpuff, you can draw 2 cards using Tasting. Now, this doesn't sound like a lot. It's like, okay, draw 1 card. If it's active, draw 2 cards. Firstly, this isn't limited to 1 Slurpuff. So, you get 2 Slurpuffs out on your bench, you're drawing 2 cards a turn. Get 3, you're drawing 3 cards a turn. That's basically Go Plus. Like draw for turn, draw 3 more. You're getting 4 cards a turn. That's a very nice thing to see. Now, I think that this variant actually benefits more than the Garbodor variant, just for the whole fact that as I've mentioned, you're running T-Flag Grunt. It's your support for a turn. You're not drawing any cards. You're running Xerosic. It's your support for a turn. You're not drawing any cards. You're most likely going to be running Lysander as well, so you can try and hinder your opponent even more. So once again, you're not drawing any cards. That's why you're a Slurpuff. You can actually accelerate through your deck. You can still draw cards and actually gain some kind of hand advantage without requiring a supporter. It also means that you can actually pull off some pretty nice plays with Lysander's or Lysandre's trump card. Or I think it's now called Lysander's Last Resort. Now, the big thing with Lysander's Last Resort is the fact that it basically takes every card in yours and your opponent's discard pile and shoves it back into the deck. So that means that any deck thinning your opponents managed to do to actually try and get the cards in to try and stop you is being completely utterly wasted. All of those cards that they put into the discard pile are now back in the deck. The deck is now at full size. Our deck thinning did nothing. But it also serves a second purpose for you, the Seismitoad player. You only have a limited number of hammers. You only have a limited number of Xerosics and Team Flare Grunts. And you're not doing a lot of damage. It's Seismitoad. It does a little damage consistently. It does a little damage and doesn't get knocked out straight away by anything. So the fact that you can go, oh well, all of my hammers are in the discard pile. Lysander's Last Resort. Put everything back in. Oh look, I've got my hammers back. Oh, I've got 2 Slurpuff on the bench. I'm going to draw 2 cards. Oh look, there's one of my hammers. I'll start taking your energy again. I'm going to hinder you even harder. And really that is how I feel a deck should be played. Garbodor, good option, as it doesn't really switch off much that's relevant. Whereas Slurpuff, it actually takes one of the deck's failings and actually makes it work. You can go Xerosic, get rid of a special energy, Slurpuff, draw. So firstly you've replaced that Xerosic, you've replaced your supporter. You have the second Slurpuff, I'll draw 2. You've replaced the Xerosic and gone further into your deck. You've actually gone +1. Next turn, draw 2 again. Turn flat, draw 2 again. Oh look, I've got another Slurpuff now. I'm going to draw 1 for the new Slurpuff. Next turn, draw 3. Oh, I've not got any cards left in my deck. All my hands are in the discard pile, so there's a couple of Xerosics, so is my Team First Grunt. Lysander's Last Resort, put it all back in the deck. Oh, I've got everything back. Draw 3. Oh look, I've got one of my hands back. It's really that simple. That's how the deck works. You're not getting knocked out quickly, you're hindering your opponent, and it's effectively a stun deck. You try and make it so that your opponent can kind of play the game, but you're making it so they can't really accomplish anything. It's like, you can attach an energy, but you might not be able to attack. In fact, most likely you won't be able to attack. But anyway, I think that's enough for my rambling. What do you guys think about Seismitoad and its two variants? Do you prefer Galvador over Slurpuff, and if so, why do you? As always, feel free to let me know down in the comments, and if there are any techs or ideas for the deck that you personally like either seen or thought of, feel free to let us know. Feel free to let us know. Yeah, speak up. Tell the class about it. We all want to know. But until next time, I've been Writer Joey. You guys looked up the scent. Peace out.